You know, direct sequels can either be a good or bad thing when it comes to a franchise. A follow-up release, in order to be successful, needs to be better than the original in almost every way. Especially if the first one was an absolute knockout of the park. And in the case of Bioshock 1, which came out in 2007, any release after that introductory banger has some large shoes to fill. And that's putting it lightly. Well, the folks over at 2K Marin believed they could improve and stay true to the franchise with their release of Bioshock 2 in 2010 for the PS3, 360, and PC. This is the Xbox 360 version here, as this is the version I got on release, and honestly, this game is meant to be played with a controller. So, did they succeed in carrying the Bioshock torch? Well, they most certainly got the look and feeling of Rapture down, I can say that for certain. Stuff like plasmids, little sisters, splicers, and the ever-important audio diaries all make their return, and everything from the UI, weapons, and world are once again completely decked out in an underwater 1930s Art Deco fashion. So, Bioshock 2 checks all the boxes when it comes to the original game's appearance, that's for sure.
I walk all the time. Hey, get out already. Why they always gotta leave?
As for the story, you play as Subject Delta, the first successful Big Daddy prototype. After an unfortunate event, you must reunite with your original little sister Eleanor, who was taken from you. Person that did that is a Dr. Sophia Lamb, who is a leader of a cult called The Family. It just so happens that cult is filled with splicers, so you know what that means. It means you gotta kill your way through hordes of people. But seriously, the main plot of the game does not even come close to the death of the first one. But then again, coming up with a plot that stands up to the first journey through Rapture is, that's an impossible task.
Lacking its own ingenuity, the parasite fears the visionary. What it cannot plagiarize, it seeks to censor. What it cannot regulate, it seeks to ban.
So in that sense, having the plot be a kind of spin-off is probably the best course of action. The plot's not bad, mind you. They definitely have their own lore for Sophia Lamb and all the other characters you meet, but when you compare the two, there's no contest. Bioshock 1 wins out easily in terms of story.
Ridiculous!
But only dorks and nerds who can't get they dick wet care about story. Real motherfuckers like me care about the gameplay, which they have streamlined the game in many aspects. Possibly the most noticeable change, if you were to go straight from Bioshock 1 to 2, is that now you can have a plasmid and weapon out at the same time. If you're playing on console or just on a controller, the left trigger fires your plasmids and the right trigger fires your weapon. It's pretty nice. Actually, more than nice. Having both out is more like overpowered at times.
I want to hold her!
So in one hand, I got a fire to light my cigarettes, and in the other, I got a drill for maintenance work, because I'm part of the union. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's so I can dig into splicers' stomachs. The weapons you get are all technically new additions to the franchise, but they're all nothing you haven't seen before. But they are nevertheless extremely fun to shoot. A lot of the guns have a decent amount of kickback, so keep that in mind. The drill is especially fun, which I hope it would be since this game is all about you playing as a Big Daddy. The game would have been a major letdown if they didn't have that. And for veterans of the first game, giving the old zap 'em then whack 'em with a drill never gets old. And as you are a big daddy, one of the things you can do is find a little sister and have her collect Adam for you. Of course, you need to get rid of her current big daddy first. Have the little sister guide you to a body, place her down, and be sure to set up some defenses because you will need to protect her from the splicers.
The monster has taken another of our children, family. He would turn her from us just as he did to Eleanor. Show this thing what befalls the boogeyman when he steps into our garden.
Send your daughter home.
While this is optional for the most part, you're going to want to do it as having more Adam unlocks more plasmids like in the first game. Also, saving or harvesting the little sisters directly affects the ending of the game. Again, just like the first one.
Left over from the war. The splicers are becoming infected predators as well. Our big daddies are falling left and right. Perhaps the elder sisters could be trained to sniff out the lost Adam and reclaim it for us. Yes.
While you will be mostly fighting splicers throughout the campaign, there are a few other additions. There's this big Hulk-looking dude, and there's a big daddy that throws turrets, but most notably is the big sister.
Daddy, big sister doesn't want you playing with me.
These chicks can be a real pain in the ass to bring down. The game even gives you a little warning of when she's coming, giving you time to put some of your own turrets down. Dude, are you serious? That bitch just disconnected me from Xbox Live. Dude, what is your deal, lady? I gotta play some Halo 3 ODST firefight with the fellas in a couple of minutes. Alright, dude, that that's it, man. Gloves are coming off. You've probably seen it all throughout this review, but the research camera makes a return. And it functions the same way as it did in the first game. I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, as practically more than half of my footage is me researching enemies, but what can I say? It's a nice mechanic with a decent payoff of increased damage to enemies and some unlockable plasmid traits. It's super cool. I wish a lot more games did this. One controversial change or addition is the hacking dart. The hacking minigame from the first Bioshock with all the tubes is gone, being replaced with this QuickTime event, which personally I think is a good change when hacking turrets or cameras, as it doesn't take you out of the action and simply some of the cameras in Bioshock 1 were in tough to reach places. I think a good middle ground would have been keeping the old hacking method for vending machines while having the new one for everything else. But then again, what the hell do I know? I just sit here, drink carbonated beverages, and hit buttons on a piece of plastic. In other words, we're living good.
I don't like the sound. Come back.
Feel like I've been talking about gameplay for the last 2 hours. And for good reason. Bioshock 2 plays well. I'd say it plays better than the first one. Again, in the gameplay department, not story. Graphically, the game looks about the same as the first. Also runs about the same when it comes to frame rate, but there is an option to uncap the frame rate if you want, which was something you didn't see in 2010 on consoles at least. The game sounds great on a surround sound setup. Splicers crawling on ceilings are scary as hell if you don't know they're coming. I mean, dude, just listen to the soundscape. Hey, 2K, if you're listening and making another Bioshock game, there better be a decent investment in the sound design, because I'm expecting my neighbors to come knocking when I'm playing the next one. And that's pretty much it for Bioshock 2. I think I've covered all the bases here. Let me check my notes here. Oh, shit, that's right. I almost forgot. Bioshock 2 has multiplayer.
I won't be requiring your service.
This game came out in 2010, so it's no surprise that it had to have an online multiplayer component to it. And just from a quick glance, yes, this is a Call of Duty create-a-class system just with a Bioshock premise, complete with a perk and attachment system. While the game modes on offer are all standard stuff, just with different titles, like Civil War is Team Deathmatch, Turf War is Domination, and Atom Grab is just Oddball from Halo. While the multiplayer may seem like just an addition that an executive wanted with a game, it does at least have some unique things to make it stand out. For instance, you can hack the turrets and vending machines. Turrets are self-explanatory, but hacking the vending machine just turns it into a trap of sorts. When an enemy passes by it, a grenade is let out, although it can be easily dodged, sometimes. Another interesting addition is you can research your opponents for a little bit of extra damage against them. Take a photo of them, and until that person kills you or you find a Big Daddy suit, you will do extra damage towards them. And yes, you can play as a Big Daddy in multiplayer. While the multiplayer is neat, I did not get to play too much as, well, there's not that many people playing it anymore. Only had a full lobby of 10 people because I planned and hosted it with other groups of people online. Big thanks to Camp Xbox and the Bioshock 2 multiplayer Discord server for joining in. I'll have their stuff in the description.
Got you now.
Sister, fend off enemies for as long as you can.
But it was fun to play these games again. Honestly, the Bioshock series is one I always play at least once a year. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I'd say I do the same thing with Half-Life and Gears of War. In conclusion, though, Bioshock 2, while not as earth-shattering as its predecessors, has and changes enough to where I think it should not be left out when people talk about the Bioshock series. Many focus on 1 and Infinite, but Bioshock 2 is still extremely fun to play, and there is a good DLC campaign called Minerva's Den that I also want to play and review. I should really stop making review promises because I already got like a month of backlog to play, so I'm just going to stop the review here. So if you haven't played it, go out and get a copy and play some Bioshock 2, because you can never get too much Bioshock, I think. Well, technically you can, but you know what I mean. Anyways, see you next time, fellas.
And now for a special message from Andrew Ryan.
Good evening, my friends. I hope you are enjoying your New Year's Eve celebration. It has been a year of trials for us all. Tonight, I wish to remind each of you that Rapture is your city. It was your strength